Today we are reviewing dividing polynomials. So I'm just going to dive right in with the coefficients, okay, these whole numbers. We're going to simplify them just like a regular fraction. So what I like to do is I'm just going to go ahead and set up my fraction bar, and then I'm going to simplify. So 20 divided by 5, what would that be? They're both divisible by 5, and it's 4 over 1. I don't have to put that 1 down here because 4 divided by 1 is just 4. Then if I have x to the third on the top and just x on the bottom, this would be like x to the first. Are there more x's in the numerator or the denominator? There's more in the numerator, right? 3 minus 1 would be x squared. Did I end up with anything in my denominator? Nope, right? It all canceled out, so this is my final answer. Okay, let's look at B. I'm going to set up my fraction bar again, and I'm going to start simplifying. Negative 12 over 4. Those are both divisible by 4. That leaves me negative 3 on the top, 1 on the bottom. Then let's look at the x's. Are there more x's in the numerator or the denominator? 5 minus 2 is 3, right? There's 3 more x's in the numerator. And then the y's, y to the fourth over y to the second. Are there more y's like upstairs or downstairs? There's 2 more upstairs. Okay, did I cancel everything out of my denominator? Yes, so that's my final answer. Let's look at C. I'm going to go ahead and set up my fraction bar. I'll show you why if you're like, why are you doing a fraction bar if none of your answers are fractions? And some of our answers will end up being fractions, so I'll show you that in a second. But here, 15 divided by 3 is 5, right? That simplifies to 5. Then if I have 4 a's on the top and 1 on the bottom, that means there's 3 more on the top. If there's 2 b's on the top and 1 b on the bottom, there's 1 more on the top. And then c cubed over c to the first, right? 3 minus 1 is 2, so c squared. That's it. Everything in the denominator canceled out. Letter D, setting up my fraction bar. So negative 72 divided by negative 8, what are those both divisible by? They're both divisible by 8. And a negative divided by a negative is a positive, so that just leaves me with 9. 8 goes into 72 9 times. Okay, and then if I have x to the fourth on top and x to the fourth on the bottom, what is x to the fourth divided by x to the fourth? It's just 1, right? Those cancel each other out. So now 3 minus 1 would be y squared. So are there more y's in the numerator or the denominator? There's 2 more in the numerator. So that's my answer. Let's look at E. Setting up my fraction bar here. 4 divided by 2. 2 goes into 4 2 times. Then are there more x's in the numerator or the denominator? This is a 1. So 3 minus 1 is x squared. And then here, are there more y's in the numerator or the denominator? So if I have 1 y in the numerator and 4 y's in the denominator, there are 3 more underneath. So that answer is a fraction. 2x squared over y to the third. Because I had only 1 y on the top and 4 on the bottom. Okay, let me see if I can write it. So this would be like saying 4x, x, x, y, this pen is dead, over 2, x, y, 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 y. Okay, so when I start canceling things out, I know that 4 and 2 are both divisible by 2. And then I can get rid of this x in the bottom and this x on top. So that leaves 2 x's on the top. That's this x squared. And then I can cancel out 1 y here and 1 y here, and that leaves y, 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 y to the third on the bottom. So letter F, we're setting up our fraction bar. 15 and 20 are both divisible by 5, and that simplifies to 3 over 4. Then are there more x's in the numerator or the denominator? There's actually 2 more x's down here, right? There's 4 on top, 6 on bottom, so that's 2 more on the bottom. And then are there more y's in the numerator or the denominator? There's 2 more down here, y squared. So 3 over 4 x squared y squared. So why don't you, okay, pause it, do the last 2, and then we'll come back and check it. Okay, so let's look together at letter G. So negative 10 and 5 are both divisible by 5, and that becomes negative 2 and 1 on the bottom. Then are there more x's in the numerator or the denominator? There's more in the numerator, there's 3 more. And then what happens with y to the 5th over y to the 5th? They just cancel out. So that's my final answer, negative 2x to the 3rd. And then this last one, okay, I'm gonna set up my fraction bar. 12 and 18 are both divisible by 6, so that's negative 2 and 3. There are 3 more x's on the bottom, 4 more y's on the top, and 3 more z's on the bottom, right? When I'm looking at them, the x's, there's 2 on top, 5 on bottom, so that's 3 more on the bottom. The y's, there's 5 on top and only 1 on the bottom, so there's 4 more on the top, and then 3 and 6 means there's 3 more z's on the bottom. So your homework today looks pretty much identical, okay, to your notes. So you can just, if you will box in or circle your final answer for me, that would help me out when I'm grading it, but that's it. And that's the end of polynomials.